Hey guys, it's Kluster, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Kwite situation a second time now. So, 2 weeks ago, I made a video on how there were statements on how Kwite apparently forced himself on someone called Orion, as well as other statements such as Kwite apparently getting his fans to harass Orion and him being transphobic towards him. At the end of my video, I concluded that there is no evidence to what the victim Orion was stating, so I left it at innocent until proven guilty. Well, 24 hours ago, Kwite made a very good response video basically debunking everything Orion said. The most serious statement in Orion's twitlonger was him accusing Kwite of sexually assaulting him. Kwite debunked this false claim by explaining what actually happened, which was the two kissed as Orion made Kwite promise him a kiss which they both consented to. Yeah, that was literally it.
Later that day, though, Orion and I are in the driver's seat and passenger seat of his car, respectively, when the topic of the kiss comes up again. What I'm about to say is not a standard of consent I would have applied to anybody else back then, and it's something I've learned is also true for me and I'm deserving of as I got older. Back then, though, I was a lot younger. I was 17 and had complete shit for brains. In my head, I'm thinking, fuck, that's right, I did agree to that. Since it's come up again, I'm thinking that Orion meant it seriously and I misread the situation, and that it would be shitty to now pull out of something I'd already committed to. That is not how consent works in the slightest, even on something as relatively small as a kiss, but despite my hesitance, I did kiss Orion once. That's it. That's all we ever did.
In fact, what's funny about this situation is Orion was the one who was constantly forward about sex. Not quite like Orion tried to suggest in his bullshit twitlonger. Also in this video, I'm just going to be showing a few clips and screenshots from Kwite's response video. If you want to know every detail, I strongly suggest watching his video. But anyway, Kwite then goes on to debunking the second allegation that Orion made, which was Kwite apparently being transphobic against him.
Orion alleges that during the March 2018 call that during our fight, I called him a, quote, D-word who thinks she's a boy and will never be. In addition to this, Orion claims that he told me his dead name before we met up for the first time, only to be used around his transphobic parents to maintain his cover. But that after learning his dead name, I would apparently use it to belittle him. Both of these are false. Orion's old Twitter got suspended, unfortunately, so I could only ever recover my half of our conversations, but they are also available in the link in the description. But in every message I've sent to Orion on Discord, Skype, through text, or Twitter that I can still get my hands on, all of which you can look through yourself, you will not find a single instance of me A, ever misgendering Orion at any point, or B, referring to him by a name other than Orion, as well as like the general gender-neutral words that I still use for everybody I know. While Orion did tell me his dead name, I have genuinely forgotten it since because I never used it outside of the context he told me to. I can only show you that I never did it in text, but I also never did it through voice calls or in person. In fact, the only person you'll see using an insult of this nature towards Orion is Orion himself. Orion would often go down depression spirals that he would end up messaging me during, and these usually turned into him doing a lot of negative self-talk, just disparaging himself in all sorts of ways that I would be trying my damnedest to walk him back from. During one of these spirals in April 2017, almost a whole year before Orion claims I made the D-word comment, he said a nearly identical thing about himself that I immediately say is not true and try to counter-argue.
So yeah, another allegation easily debunked. Like I said previously, if you want to know more about the situation, watch Kwite's video because Kwite manages to debunk every single claim from Orion. Like the entire twitlonger from Orion was nothing but lies. He lied about making Kwite's gimmick, lied about Kwite's fans harassing him, which was funny because when he claimed that, he provided zero evidence. Not even a tweet or a comment. And that's another thing. I don't understand how there were so many people who sided with Orion and believed everything he said. Like, when these allegations first came out, Kwite's latest video got thousands of dislikes, top comments saying a bunch of bullshit like, "We trusted you, Kwite, this is sickening what you've done." He even lost tens of thousands of subscribers, even though there was no proof, and in the end, none of it was true. The only thing Orion proved to be true was they both knew each other personally. So if you're wondering what Orion's response to this video is, well, he tweeted saying Kwite lied in the first 10 minutes but didn't explain what he lied about and showed proof of his PTSD diagnosis, and then claimed to be logging off for a while because he just got found out to be fucking lying and a piece of shit human being. Also, the PTSD diagnosis doc was also fake, as in the doc he repeated 2 sentences. Yeah, that's how stupid he is. I mean, you know what else is really funny? Orion tried to falsely claim that Kwite had committed a crime against him when in the end, he just committed 2 crimes by forging fake documents and falsely accusing someone of sexual assault. What a piece of shit human being. Not only that, Orion has also contributed to making it harder for people to believe actual sexual assault victims. So why did Orion falsely accuse Kwite of these horrendous things? As well as dox Kwite's face, which was in public, why did he do all these things? Well, The reason why is because Kwite stopped talking to him. Yes, we have just witnessed that Orion is actually a sociopath. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say in this video. Genuinely, fuck Orion and anyone who falsely accuses people of sexual assault in order to ruin their lives. I hope Kwite the best and to recover from this stressful and fucked situation. I mean, I have nothing else to say. I've been Kluster. Piss off.
Big Chungus, na-na. I am a meme of fat Bugs Bunny, na-na. I know they see that I'm so chunky, na-na-na. Oh, of that fame of large Bugs Bunny, they think that it's so funny. Big Chungus, na-na. He didn't stay in there with no will or might.